Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, presented by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we're talking about bridges today. One bridge in particular, Greens Mill Bridge, which is right here in the area. So we've got Lynetta Bartel-Knutson, and we've got our old friend Daphne Jeffries from the Camden County Museum here with us to talk about this bridge. So where is Greens Mill Bridge, and what's going on with the bridge?
The bridge is located on J Road, State Highway J, and it's between Highway 54 and Highway 7.
Okay.
And it spans over the Little Niagara River.
Okay, all right. So that's a very beautiful drive. We've talked about that before on the Camden County Museum shows, fun drive back there. But it does go over the river a time or two, needs a bridge, and so the Greens Mill Bridge was one of those.
That's correct.
Is it still in use?
Not for vehicles.
Not for
They
vehicles.
have built the new highway right next to it, upriver, but it is accessible for pedestrians to walk on.
Okay, so it was the longtime bridge. When did they build that? Was that like right after the dam?
1933.
Okay, so it was right after the
Yes.
dam. Okay.
Yes.
Because a dam comes in, water backs up, people need a new way to get across and around and all that stuff. Okay, so why is it important, if they built a new bridge, why is it important to keep the old bridge?
Well, real briefly, when we first started this venture of adopting the bridge, of course, we did a lot of research, and MoDOT was just phenomenal giving us information. There is a lot of historical value. There's only 4 bridges in the United States that are built on this concept of a self-suspended bridge. It's held up by the towers.
Really?
The bedrock underneath it was too unstable to actually set it on anything like bridges are normally. So it's held up by the cables. And that is a definite engineering feat right there for back then.
Big wonder right
Absolutely. There's 4 bridges. The other 3 are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they're known as the sister bridges.
Okay.
So it's quite an engineering feat that they have that.
So there's a good reason to keep it that way.
Right.
Right.
A sentimental reason is when they built the dam and things started flooding, they built 5 bridges across the Osage, Big Niagara, and the Little Niagara.
Right.
4 of them have been demolished.
Ooh. This is the last one?
This is the last one.
Wow.
Yes, so we decided we really need to keep this bridge for future.
So in the other 4, I know were the old Camdenton Bridge over the Niagara, the other Niagara Bridge in the Greenview area, I think, and then the Hurricane Deck Bridge. Those
And
are
the
3.
Osage.
And
Over the Osage.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yes, over the Osage.
Grand Glaze,
Yes.
okay. So those 4 are gone. This is the last one.
The last one.
Who knew? Wow, that's pretty cool. I love the picture of you, and I think it's your mom on the bridge, like in 1940 something?
That was my mother's graduating class from Max Creek.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. So it was your mom, not you.
It was my mom and her graduating class, yeah. She's the one that looks like the little bitty girl.
She's like tiny.
Yeah, she is
right?
tiny.
Wow.
Yes. At that particular time, she weighed 90 pounds.
Wow. And that was 1946?
1946, yes.
And she graduated from Max Creek?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, that too is a huge family memory, one of those things, another reason why this bridge is special to you.
It started out very sentimental.
Yeah.
When I heard it was going to come down, I'm going, we can't have that. Because, of course, Mom and Mom's family was one of the families that was forced off the river. Well, she left Kansas after graduation, got married, had a family. Her family was here. My grandfather told my dad, just bring her home anytime she wants to come. So every year we would come back here with another child. We soon outgrew my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
So we would come down and spend our summer vacations at the campground right by the bridge.
Okay.
So when I heard it was coming down, I'm going, oh no.
Wow.
We can't have that. So I went to my good friend Daphne and I said, do you think we can adopt this bridge?
Yeah.
She said, let's try. We had no idea at that time.
That was 2017.
2017, yes.
2017,
yes.
Okay. So it's been a few years. Has it been harder, more work, more difficult than you figured it would be, or is this been the struggle you kind
It's
of...
been more scary than anything.
Yeah, when we were awarded, was that last year?
Well,
2 years ago from MoDOT said, yeah, you can adopt the bridge. I call her up and I go, okay, now what do we do?
yeah.
Yeah. And
I
it's
mean-
kind of learning as you go.
It is.
Who
It is.
built the bridge? Who was the genius behind building this?
Clifton Engineering out of Iowa
Okay.
built it.
And did they build the ones in Pittsburgh as well?
No.
Okay, they just kind of learned maybe from the
yes.
ones
Yes,
in.
yes.
So a self-sustaining bridge
Self-suspended.
or self-suspended bridge is not. It doesn't depend on it being anchored into the
No.
ground. That probably won't work everywhere. I'm guessing with certain wind conditions or something like that.
It was a prototype.
Right.
when they
okay.
did this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it still safe, not for maybe car traffic, but for people traffic?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Maybe bike traffic? It's still
Yeah.
solid enough where there's not a problem with that. Okay. How long did it take to build? Any idea?
Roughly 18 months.
18 months, about a year and a half. And this, back in the day in 1933, you didn't have quite the heavy duty machinery. So there was a lot of hard labor going into that probably, right?
And the engineering effort that they had to use, slide rules, and they didn't have a computer where they
Right.
could plug in numbers and, numbers pop up like they do today.
Yeah. I mean, there took some real brain power.
It really did.
To put that in. Same thing with the dam. I mean, the way they built that
Well,
dam.
and if you remember, there was only 18 months from when they started clearing land to when they started filling the lake. So
Really?
that was only 18 months.
I'd like to
So
see people work
peop-
that hard today, man, and get stuff done like
Well,
that.
they had a lot of people.
They sure did. Yeah, and during the Depression, people were.
People were coming all over. And what I found, people were bringing their families, and if it was a single man, they would throw a tarp over a bush,
Yeah.
and that's where they stayed
Yeah?
during this.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Such an amazing era back then. Okay, so we're talking about Greens Mill Bridge and what is going on with that. The last remaining original bridge in the lake area here, so it's fascinating. It's Lynetta Bartel-Knudsen and our friend Daphne Jeffrey, so we'll continue the conversation right after this. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Don't miss out on your favorite show. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.
Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show presented by the great folks at COMC. We're talking about the Greens Mill Bridge, the last remaining original bridge in the lake area. The other 4 are gone and replaced. And there's actually a new bridge beside Greens Mill Bridge, but the original Greens Mill is there. So you want to get this bridge on the National Register for Historic Places. What will that do for Greens Mill Bridge?
Well, one thing, it does free up other grant money that's available for maintaining it and carrying it into the future. But the prestige
Yeah.
of being on the National Historical Registry is really the thing that we're aiming at. And we found out that it does cost you money to go through the process, but there are grants available to help you with the cost
Okay.
of getting onto the registry. And I have a lady working on that right now, and we just missed the cutoff for the grants for this year, so we're working toward getting that grant applied for next year
There you
so
go.
that we can start the process of getting it on the registry. And of course, we have to have all the documentation, which is what we have.
Yeah.
MoDOT was very good about giving us everything they had concerning the construction of the bridge and everything. So we have all the documentation together, and now we're just looking toward the funding for doing the process of getting it listed on the registry.
That'd be nice, and it'd be a big step forward, I'm sure, for you guys. What can people do at the bridge now? Are you inviting people to come out to the bridge and have fun out there or do something?
People do go to the bridge.
Absolutely.
This year, we gravelled a parking area. We also put a trash container out there for people if they go out and have a picnic or whatever and they have
throw your
trash, they've
away,
got a place to put their trash. We're in the process, we're going to be putting up bat houses because there are a lot of which are they, the gray bats or the brown
They're
bats? Or gray
endangered
bats, I don't
species
know.
out there.
But anyway, they're an endangered species and they are around that area. So we have bat houses we're going to be putting up. We're going to put up bluebird houses and
Butterfly
habitat things.
Wow. Well,
So
that's
we're
pretty cool.
trying to turn it into some sort of a not turn it into, but we're trying to emphasize the nature that's around there.
Well, that'd be kind of neat.
And because you had mentioned before, it's such a beautiful place, we have invited photographers out there and artists.
Okay.
I talked to the Artists Guild in Camdenton several years ago. They said they'd love to go out there, but when it was part of the road, they couldn't set up their easels.
Right, yeah.
Now they can.
Yeah.
So we're inviting.
That's one of the benefits of it not being the main road bridge.
Right.
Yeah.
And this for you, and we're down to our last 3 minutes, is a special place. I mean, we saw the picture of your mom, her graduating class on the bridge.
Yes.
But there's other very family-oriented things that make this bridge important to you. What are those things?
Absolutely. My grandchildren are now adult, and whenever they come down there, that is one of the stops they make because I've been taking them also to the bridge as my mother did me.
Yeah.
And tell me about what life was like in the backwoods of the Ozarks at the turn of the 1900s coming in. I'm sharing that information with my grandkids, and now they are sharing that with their friends and their and their kids. So it's very special in that aspect.
Absolutely. And you got married on that.
Oh, yes. I got married on that bridge almost
She almost
3 years
forgot about
ago.
her husband, right? So
My husband and I dated for 18 years. And when we decided to get married, we had talked about a destination wedding. And so we were okay. And he went out on the bridge. And I said, well, I was thinking destination a little farther than a mile away from my house. But he just kept, and I'm going, he said, that'd be so cool. And I said, well, yeah, it probably would be. So yes, we did get married on the bridge.
wow. So a lot of great memories there.
Absolutely.
And I think you've had a family memorial on the bridge,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So there's a lot of things that go along with the history of it and it being the last remaining original bridge and
Self-suspended.
self-suspended bridge, all these new terms. So you talked about getting it on the National Registry, and you also talked about adopting it. Is that the same thing? Or is that
Well, we've already adopted it.
ours.
We are responsible for it
adopted it.
now.
Oh, okay.
MoDOT signed it over to us a year ago, February.
Okay. So
And
that's the
That's
adopting.
done.
Yes.
We've adopted it, and now getting it on the registry is a whole other process. We have discovered how many steps there are in doing this, all the
Right.
way from forming a corporation to
And it's about 630. So
yeah.
real
least.
quick, do you need any volunteers? Do you want
yes.
people to
We
help?
always need volunteers and members, and there is membership information now. Of course, this won't go out until afterwards, but we are doing a trivia night. We're trying to put together a paint night on the bridge for the fall when the colors are pretty, and in the past we've had golf tournaments and some other fundraising events, and then we will have people present at the air show in September. And
Okay, we're running out of time here. For folks who want to get in touch with you or find out more information, how do they go about
We
it?
have a great webpage. It's www.greensmillhistoricalbridge.com. and they can private message me on our Facebook page.
Okay, greensmillbridge.com. That's pretty easy to remember. All right, all right.
That's right. It
Thank you,
pops up.
ladies.
You bet.
Appreciate it
Thank
very
you,
much.
Chris.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. And thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.